Okay. So I started my morning off today just talking, or not talking. I was listening to Joe Dispenza talking about abundance. And so what I did to journal this morning, which is different than what I usually do. What I'll usually do is like I'll do affirmations. Like yesterday I had Tony Jones playing in my ears, which I love doing. And I take a lot of the affirmations that she's saying in my ears and I write them down, but I take whatever resonates. But today, what I did was I was listening to Joe Dispenza talk, um, and what I did is I took what resonated from that. And so one of the biggest things that caught like my attention was he asked what abundance means. So, Mano, what does abundance mean?
I would say that abundance has different definitions. Um,
Doesn't matter. When you think of abundance, what does it mean to you? Because
plentiful,
in order to be abundant, you have to have a definition of it,
yeah. Well,
right?
for me, what I think abundance is plentiful, being plentiful in something, right?
So
So I guess
create a definition for yourself. Because when you talk about being abundant all the time, right?
yeah,
Like that's a big part
yeah.
of how you go about your everyday life. Start with writing a definition of it. And so what you saw that I sent you at the top was my definition of it, and then I wrote some affirmations after it. So
Ah,
my definition of it was the ability to attract anything I think of, being abundant, being in the same energetic field to receive, already having that state of being inside me.
ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, but that was again, like that was when he was talking about it, it was from him speaking
Hmm.
on stage or something. And he said, like, I hear people tell me abundance to them is being able to attract anything. Abundance to them is being able to be anywhere and be like, feel like I have everything. And he was like, it doesn't matter what you think abundance is, but you have to have a definition for it. You have
Hmm.
to, it's just like any other goal. I was listening to a sleep hypnosis last night before I went to bed, which didn't work. Unfortunately, my brain was running overtime last night. And one of the things that he was saying is just like anything else, any of your goals, anything that you want to manifest in your life. And this goes completely with one of the things that my dad says all the time, which is you walk into the picture you hold of
Yeah.
yourself. But in order to actually receive and to get something that you want, it's just like going to a restaurant and ordering, right?
Hmm.
You choose what you want, but you have to put your order in. If you don't put your order in, you're not going to receive it, right? Like you're not going to go sit in a restaurant and sit there and just expect all this food to end up in front of you. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have to actually place your order. So, same thing with understanding what abundance means to you. If you want to live an abundant life, you have to, first of all, know what it means to you.
Yeah.
And second of all, you have to understand that being abundant isn't convincing yourself of something outwards. Here, I have a quote from Joe Dispenza actually.
Okay.
He says, you're not creating abundance, you're generating abundance because being abundant is energy,
Yeah.
right? You have to be in the energetic field of knowing that you're abundant, right? So it's not convincing yourself that you're creating it, it's actually feeling it and being it.
I love it. And I think that because we talk about energy a lot on here, and I think that like the way you direct yourself, you have to pull yourself through life with a specific type of energy.
Mm,
And that's for anything, right? For anything. But for abundance specifically, I think that the main thing with that like I love so much about the definition is when you categorize what abundance means for you specifically, it's more tangible, meaning that you can put your order in more effectively. Like you can
exactly.
actually like, I don't want mushrooms on it. I want extra cheese and no mushrooms. And like you get more specific with how you place your order in that analogy that we're using. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that like, especially now, right? That it's coming to summer season. We're also in eclipse season, so it's a lot of chaotic energy. Um,
Rolling my eyes.
right, right. Like it's so chaotic energy right.
No, it's a good chance to get everything that's not in line right now.
Exactly, right? It's pushing
That's how I'm trying to look at it.
it's yeah, it's pushing you into frame. Like that's the best way to put it.
Say that one more time.
It's pushing you into frame,
Okay, frame. Okay.
into like the frame of your story.
Yeah. 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 We really just jumped into that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I love it. When you were we were doing a pre-log before this, just talking ourselves, and she started being like, "Yeah, I did my journaling," and I was like, "Stop talking. Hold on." And then I filmed because I was like, "This is gonna be some gold, and I want to get it on video." Um,
Yeah.
and so that's what we did.
Yeah.
I would say
But go ahead.
I'd say one quote I do have that I think is really powerful is um I don't know who said it, but it's abundance is not the amount of money you have, it's the quality of life you live.
Exactly. And that the quality of your life comes from your internal perception of life, right? So the energy that you're generating, the way that you view things, and I don't remember word for word what he was talking or how he said this, but he basically was saying when you want to be an abundant person, you have to practice being in the state that you function in abundance all the time. Start with meditation, learn how that feels, and then do it everywhere you go. Do it with your eyes open. Do it like if you're in school, if you're walking down the street, like if you're eating lunch with your friends, like practice being able to be in that present moment and feel like know and feel that because in order to be fully abundant and to receive the things that you want to receive, and this ties into the title of our podcast, embodiment, who you are behind closed doors. You have to learn to, when you feel these overwhelming emotions and human emotions, mind you, it is human to feel certain things. But you want to become this higher version of yourself and you want to be able to attract these things. You have to be able to center yourself in and pull yourself back to the present moment and channel that state of feeling. And it's just like, it's just with anything. And one of the big things that Tony Robbins talks about in his book, Unlimited Power, is state. And so it totally ties into this because what Joe Dispenza was talking about, he was like, if you are abundant when you're in a passionate state, if you're abundant when you're in a blissful state, if you're abundant when you're in an inspirational state, or if you're in a trusting state, or if you're in an invincibility state, you have to be able to channel that wherever, whenever, in order to be that person all the time, right? And that doesn't mean you don't feel those other things. It just means that even when you are feeling those other things, you can step back for a second and say, you know what? As much as I'm feeling this, it's a feeling, but it is not who I am. It is just something I am experiencing. And then that pulls you back into being able to create your state, if that makes sense.
Mm. And
Oh,
okay.
I lost a headphone.
Oh, interesting. So I mean, I think that is true. I resonate with that too. And I think that like sometimes though, even when you are because obviously you have to be in the energetic vibration to attract the specific things depending on what you're trying to manifest. I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes the universe purposely tries to shift
Throw
you,
you off.
throw you off,
Yeah.
throw you off, right? And
Yeah.
more than occasionally, I think it always tries to throw you off to get you to see how worthy you are of attaining that ultimate goal, right? And I think that
Yeah.
pushing through that is really hard sometimes, but it's necessary to where you need to go
Mm-hmm.
become the best version of yourself.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm going to throw this in here too. Another thing that Joe Dispenza was talking about is, and this almost directly translates into what my dad does with his clients in terms of hype level when they're on the ice, right? So knowing the state that you function best in and you are most abundant in, whether it's passionate, blissful, trustworthy, invincibility, like whatever that state is, whatever that state is that you feel the most abundant, you are functioning at the you're functioning at your fastest rate of vibration. And when you function at your fastest rate of vibration, you are the most magnetic you, right? And so what like my dad teaches to his clients is because different goalies, different hockey players have different hype levels, right? Like some people, when they're on the ice and they're like jumping up and down hype, that is their hype level. You know, they're going to stop every
Yeah.
puck when they feel like that. But for some goalies, it's not like that. For some goalies, they have to be calm, cool, and collected. They have to like not be talking to anyone. They have to be totally zoned in. They're dialed into that puck and they're not like bouncing up with energy, right? And
Mhm.
so it's the same thing with this. You have to know where you are on that scale in order to fully be able to like what's the word? Be able to activate it. Activate it.
Ah,
Yeah. Like for I'd say for you and I are more passionate people. I have my calm moments, right? But those are me recharging in order to be able to function at my best again, which is at a bit of a higher level. Like I can be a loud person.
yeah.
I'm an exciting person. I like to laugh. I like to be in that higher passionate state. I'm passionate about everything that I do, whether it's like podcasts, whether it's okay, fuck school, but school. If I'm like you and I, we just had a presentation for school, and one of the things that we got for feedback was I just loved how passionate you guys were about that.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Yeah.
it might have not necessarily been because of the project or what we were presenting, but that's just who you and I are as people, is we're very passionate people. And so you and I, for example, when we think about the scale and being able to challenge different states or to be able to ignite different states in order to be functioning at your most abundant is for us, it's passion. Like we need to be in a passionate state to receive what we want, deserve, whatever it may be. And real life example was that presentation that we just did where we were totally just like we didn't stress about it before. We both were like, okay, we
Yeah.
know our shit, we're going in.
We just went in.
And we received maybe a better response than we even expected. So,
Really good response, actually. And I was shocked because in the moment, I feel like, as you were saying with passion, we manifest and we like are over consumed in like the passion in the moment. And we're like, you know, we just need to go and we need to perform. And when we're in that state of mind, like you said with your dad's clients and like the goalies, like they do their confidence anchors, right? And so
mhm,
like that's kind of the same thing. Like I feel like with us, we have those that unique ability that we are able to do that in the moment. And I think that when we do manifest with passion, we move with passion, we end up doing so much better because
mhm,
our energy is so much more aligned to
yeah,
the our higher selves vibration.
yeah, 100%. See, it's
I
crazy how things come full circle.
yeah, right, literally.
Like
Um,
I had no intention of bringing that up, but
I know that
it's
when you brought it up, I was like, wait, that actually is true though, because we got praise for that, and I honestly didn't think we were going to get praise for that
no,
presentation.
but the first thing that came out of her mouth was, and I just love how passionate you were about it. And
Yeah,
it wasn't like you and I weren't trying to be passionate about it. It just
it just came out.
that's how it comes across, right? Because that's when you and I are in our most like in the moment dialed in states, which is where we trust ourselves. Like the passion comes out of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like move with love and move with passion. I feel like those are
Well, well, yes, but also in terms of what we're talking about, if you're not a passionate, if you're more of a blissful person, like think of like the fucking turtle in
Master
uh
Oogway.
pardon?
Master Oogway.
Is that the turtle from Finding Nemo?
Oh no, no, that's not. That's from Kung Fu Panda. You're talking about like that turtle that's like the kind of high turtle.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's not high, but like he's just more blissful. He's more chill. Like if that is you in your most abundant state, that is perfect for you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh my God,
You
Vic
know what I
Bindle
mean?
would yell at me. He'd yell at me. Um, if you are somebody who functions in more of an inspirational state where that's like you are constantly helping people, or maybe honestly, I'd say people who are artists, right? Like who paint and do stuff like or fashion, stuff like that. I'd say that's more they function out of more of an inspirational state. And then like trusting, how would you I guess trusting kind of comes along with all of them because you have to trust yourself and you have to trust the universe, but
Yeah.
maybe some people are more trusting in everyone around them, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna scratch that. I'm gonna not whatever. Whatever. Or if you are like the most abundant in like an invincible state where you know nothing can stop you. And that comes with confidence too, right? But some people just function way, way better when they are always channeled in on that. Nothing can stop me.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop me. So,
Looking in the mirror, doing those affirmations in the mirror every morning. I also know that when I feel my most abundant, sometimes like I'll be I'll be doing something and I'll get full body chills. And then I'll just get like this waft of like power. Like, it's like this power over consumingly behind you. Like, I'm like, shit, I can literally do anything. Like, I'm
yeah.
literally like the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
stop
want
it.
every I want everyone listening to say that to themselves right now. I
Yes.
am the most powerful person in the world.
Yes, I am the most powerful person in the world.
Okay, say it. Say it. Say it.
I'm the most, oh, regress.
No, I want them to say it, not us. We're listening. Yeah.
Woo! That's what we like to hear.
Okay, now say it one more time.
I'm the most powerful person in the world.
We actually, yo, before we started this, Mano was like, I don't want to write this fucking exam today. And so I was like, what did I say to you? I said,
Said,
say I'm gonna ace this
yeah,
10
10
times.
times. Say it 10 times. Then say, I am going to, wait, what did you say? You said something else. I'm gonna ace this. And you said, um, I'm gonna crush this exam.
No, I think it was I'm confident that
I'm
I'm gonna,
confident. And there was another one saying, I'm going to crush this exam.
yeah.
And say that 10 times over and over to yourself. And it did help because, like, obviously going to an exam, you're always stressed out. And especially like life plays a role in that, right? Like, you don't know what's going on in your life. So, like, that on top of that can make it, like, even more like, ugh, right? But
Mano's filling us in on his inner world right
no, no,
now.
no. I'm just saying everyone has their own things going on, and you never know what everyone's dealing with, but when you affirm to yourself, it makes you feel a little better. Like about like,
Hmm.
what, I actually can do this. Like I
Well,
a current state of mind, but I believe in myself.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is everything that you do comes from a belief, right? And one thing that's been heavy in my mind recently is making sure that your belief comes from you, that
Hmm.
you're affirming your belief in yourself versus getting your belief from validation of others.
Caring
Because
what people think, never want anyone anything.
yeah, but also it's just everything you do comes from a belief. If you are gonna go make an egg sandwich for lunch,
Yeah,
it's because you believe that you like it, right?
yeah,
Or you believe that it's healthy for you. If you're gonna go to the gym, it's because you believe that that's like the best thing for you. If you are going to smoke a cigarette, like you believe it's part of your routine, you believe that your body needs it.
hmm,
Like everything that we do comes from a belief. So being able to curate that belief within yourself by using affirmations
yeah.
is so helpful because you can change the way that you think, you can change the way that you feel, and changing the way that you think and feel ultimately, if you know, if you know your definition of abundance, will help you not create abundance, but generate abundance.
I want to say something from Tony Robbins because I know you love Tony Robbins, and I saw this quote and I just really like I resonated with it and it actually gives me a little bit of direction. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he basically said, when you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like it just also made me think of like gratitude and like also just the practice of being grateful for things. Like even if something's going wrong in your life and just being like looking back and be like, I'm so grateful for these other things in my life. It makes you refocus on what you do enjoy in your life. Like what like you're not sitting there wasting your energy and time worrying about something else versus you're acknowledging the things that you are thankful for. And because you're thankful for something, and when you are grateful, abundance appears because the universe rewards reciprocity, right? If you're grateful to the universe will provide you with more abundance.
Yeah. I growing up, like from the age of like 6 years old up, my dad, whenever he would drive me, actually no, Johnny wasn't in school then, but whenever he would drive me to school or to hockey or anything, and I hated it at the time because it would happen every day, and I'd be like, "Can you stop?" Like I just wanted to hate life for some reason. But every morning he would be like, "Can you tell me three things you're happy about today? Can you tell me three things you're grateful for today?" And he would always try and get me to start off my morning with smiling. And it just, as a kid, I would get frustrated because I'm like, I just want to enjoy the ride to school. Like, why do we have to do this?
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd catch me like angry smiling with him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No limit.
But I truly believe that it's helped shape the way that I view things now, right?
Yes.
Because
Oh
he
yeah.
instilled that in me at a young age. And even if it didn't always work back then, now if I'm like not feeling great and I'm in the bathroom, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna either affirm to myself things, I'm gonna smile in the mirror, or I'm gonna tell myself three things that I'm grateful for or happy about. So it's really, it's really, really important. And I also, someone close to me recently, she started school again and she's got two kids and she like texted me and she was like, I'm literally crying in the car before school because like I can't be away from them for however many hours, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, just be grateful. And I said this to her, I was like, tell yourself the things that you're grateful for, right? But what I was thinking is it's probably emotionally scary for her. But if she were to reflect on the things that she's grateful for, like, but first of all, the fact that she's able to go back to school.
Mhm.
Second of all, the fact that she's got one kid in school and one kid that is able to be taken care of. Third of all, that she's able to go home to them after and hang out with them and everything is fine. So it can when we feel these human emotions and we let them like feel your emotions, feel your emotions. Emotions are literally energy in motion. If they get stuck, then it's even worse. But it's almost like one of those you gotta like feel it, let go of it. Once you're done feeling it, it's gone. Bye.
Yeah.
Felt done. You know, that energy is now diluted, right? If we go back to that, then it's just gonna make everything else diluted. So you gotta feel that, let it go, tell yourself what you're grateful for,
Yeah.
and then refresh.
Yeah. I think the grateful like that is so real. Like once the energy is diluted, you let go of it, you be grateful, you do your gratitude journaling, you do whatever you need to do. And
Mm-hmm.
after you do that, you try to let go as best as possible and you move on. Because obviously it's easier said than them saying like just move on, but you can do it. It's just that you have to find methods that work for you to
Yeah.
help you get through that phase.
I think a big part of the way that we think about things is the stuff that we feed ourselves and not just like food, but like brain food.
Yeah.
And one of the best things that you can do for yourself, especially if you're listening to this, like thank you for listening to young young adults
Yeah.
who are still learning so much about life. Um, but part of us doing this is because we're both dedicated to growth
Hmm.
to becoming better to improving, and not only just improving as individuals, but improving as a community
Yeah.
and helping the people around us. And one thing I would say 100%, we've talked about this, but if you are driving or if you're on your way to school, if you're on the streetcar, if you're on the bus, if you're on the train, instead of listening to music, save your music for like maybe nights when you're using a creative outlet, like hanging out with friends or when you're at the gym. Save your music for that. If you are listening to anything otherwise, have it be podcasts, have it be um audiobooks. And one that I'd say start out with, which really, really makes you think about the way that you perceive things, is Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Because he's also got, not only is he sharing gems with you in like throughout the book, he gives you visual pictures of things. And that's why Tony Robbins is so good at what he does, is because he knows how to connect with people. He knows
Mhm.
how to help you visualize things. He knows how to help you change the way that you feel by the pictures that you put in your head. And so start with listening to it could even be just like YouTube videos of him talking. But I really recommend, really, really, really recommend put on Unlimited Power if you can access the audiobook because it has so many gems. Again, it's an older book, but those practices, they don't change. It's still like our brains still work the same despite computers and everything. We still got human bodies. But yeah, it is so important to feed yourself nutritious things, nutritious brain food. Because if
Yeah.
you are not doing that, then of course you're not going to feel like your healthiest mentally.
You are
Right.
what you eat. What you eat, right? So whether what you feed yourself, that's what you are, right? I mean, that's why it's
Exactly.
to surround yourself with good people because they feed you words, and basically understand what kind of content you're consuming
Hmm.
because that is going to help shape your personality and you as a individual.
Oh, dude, the more I listen or watch reality TV, if I do like have a little reality TV like marathon,
Yeah.
I catch myself thinking, like my thinking pattern changes based on the way that they transition through scenes in the show,
Mhm.
right? And then I have like one part of my brain, one of my personalities
Yeah.
jumping in and like commenting on the other things that I'm thinking. And I'm like, why does it feel like my brain is a reality TV show right now?
Yeah.
And it's just because that like if I'm feeding myself 8 episodes of a reality TV show, yeah, I'm gonna start thinking like
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But no, it's so true. What you feed yourself is inherently what you become. So feed yourself good things.
The universe is full of magical things, patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper. That was by Eden Philpotts.
I like the last name.
Yeah, right. Philpotts. Sounds kind of fun. Fun and fresh, if you will.
You cannot see the way out of a challenge if you are looking at it every day from the same level of mind, emotions, thoughts, and feelings of the past.
I'm like,
Joe Dispenza.
hmm. Let's see. Do I have any other good ones here?
I was listening to, what was I listening to? I don't think it was Rashad Poor. Um, I think it was Bob Proctor. I think it was either Bob Proctor or Napoleon Hill. I don't remember what book it was, but I was
Hmm.
listening to it and he said whenever I face a challenge, I go to my desk, I write down the challenge on a piece of paper, and then I move myself around the desk and I sit at it from different perspectives. And on one end, I say, okay, what would I think it was Bob Proctor. He goes, okay, well, what would Napoleon Hill do? Okay, then you move to another seat around the desk. Okay, what would Tony Robbins do,
Yeah.
even though he didn't say Tony Robbins.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go to the other desk. Okay, what would my mom do? Right? And then by being able to look at things from different perspectives, you're able to figure it out, right? If you're constantly looking at it from the same point of view, it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you don't look at things from different perspectives, you're not going to be able to produce a different outcome.
I actually like this because I think I like to think that I channel people in different situations.
Hmm.
And like say for example, when I'm giving feedback, I channel Tanika. Tanika is one of the members of the startup. She's really good at giving feedback in like a non um offensive way, like really good leadership wise like feedback. And so every time I'm giving feedback, I literally like
She's also a baddie.
she's also a baddie. Oh yeah, she is. But I always channel her when I'm giving feedback because like I as if like you're meditating, asking for her energy, like asking for her I guess quality of energy. Because then when it comes, you
Hmm.
just realize like this is how I should phrase this. And it helps you do it better, right? Like versus her versus like someone else. Like for Ashley, I channel Ashley for calmness and like Zen because Ashley is a very, very peaceful person. Um,
Really?
you are a peaceful person. Yeah, you're like you externally are very like out there and like doing it, but like your energy is very much peaceful. And so like I feel like nothing can phase you. Obviously things obviously can, like you're human, but like I feel like you carry this energy that it's more
It all
powerful.
works out.
It all works out, right? And so whenever I'm in a position where I need that energy, I like channel Ashley. And then I look at my phone and she texted me. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, oh my God. So
uh,
um yeah.
whenever whenever I channel you, it's when I am in a moment where I am putting myself in front of people, or even like when I went to the social media thing and it was just like a bunch of new people. Like you're just such a people person. And I know I am, but I don't know if it's like fucking imposter syndrome or if it's just social anxiety that like my mom always told me, she'd always be like, "Oh, you're such like a people person, such this." And I'd be like, "But I'm scared to talk to people."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I seem like that, but I can be scared to talk to people. So whenever I'm in a situation where I am having one of those moments of doubt or anxiety, like I channel you because you would stomp your ass in there like you are supposed to be there, like you are the most important person in the room, and everyone wants to talk to you, but also you want to know about everyone in the room too. And so
Huh?
when
That's
I
so
need,
nice. That's so nice.
it's true. It's true.
Well, I'm glad that that's the energy I put off. Like I'm glad that that's the energy I give when I'm conducting myself. That's actually like interesting to know that that's like the
It
external.
is. It is 100%. You are like you can talk to anybody, you can make friends with anybody, you can ignite interest in anybody, you make anybody feel comfortable and wanted in terms of like wanting to have a conversation with people. We live in a society where, oh my God, like one of the things we were going to talk about today was the bystander effect, and we left that out. But we live in a society where people just it's like NPC, 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 right? Like everybody, I do it too. Like I'll have my headphones on when I'm out, but usually that's just because I'm like trying to do the things that I don't have time to do. Um, but everybody's so like just dialed in, right? And you could be anywhere, and even if you're on the phone or even if you're like listening to music, like you'll still go and start a conversation with someone. Like that's just who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like that because I like to like you never know who you're gonna meet and you never know what people are going through. So even just a small little positive interaction um can help brighten someone's day. And
Hmm.
so like That's why when I meet,
I
try to,
I always try to tell people or compliment people
yeah, that's, yeah.
if if I'm shopping or lol, if I'm
Yeah, yeah.
shopping, which I don't do much anymore, but if I'm shopping, if I'm out in public, if I'm like in a group with someone, like my thing is I feel like people don't get told those little things enough, right? Or
Yeah.
even I interacted with one of my neighbors the other day and I was like, "Oh my God, I love your sweater so much. It's so cute." And it's just the little things. My freaking Zoom keeps reacting to me moving my hands like
Oh wait, it's giving, yeah, it's, oh my God, raise her hand. What? Ashley Fry raised her hand. Oh my gosh. It actually
Looks
like
like you're done talking, so we'll
yeah, it
lower
looks
your
like that.
hand in 6 seconds. But yeah, I think those little things, like being able to share those things with people is so important because people don't get told it enough, right? Everyone's living in their own little world. Like sometimes, like you said, you never know what's going on. So, in order, let's tie this back into abundance. In order to fully be abundant within yourself, you also need to be able to exert that abundance into situations that you are in, right? If you believe everything is going to work out, then if you're in a situation where somebody might be more doubtful, don't impose your beliefs on them, but remind them like everything is going to be okay.
Ex-
You're going to figure it out. That like this is a challenge and challenges are put in front of us for us to learn to face them and become stronger.
Yeah, exactly. And when you focus too far into the future, you just get anxious. Like you're living with anxiety. So that's why it's like live in the present moment. That's all it is called the present for a reason, right? It's a gift. Um,
So corny.
it's so corny, but it's true. And like sometimes you just need to be reminded of that because life can take you on a whirlwind. But like when it does, you just have to get back on course.